Hi vinyl community, it's Maria. This is my entry to the Poetry on Plastic 5,000 subscribers contest where I answer 6 questions about my vinyl. So let's get started. So the first artist I saw live, I was thinking about it, the live music, I had heard marching bands, I had heard music at Mass, I had the block party in front of my grandmother's house. They always had a stage set up and there'd be a band. The first artist that I had a ticket and went to see was Liberace. I started taking piano lessons, and my aunt and my mother and I went to the show. I was probably, this might have been 80 or 81. So what I remember, he was quite the showman. He did probably 4 costume changes, one of which was like a full-length mink jacket. It must have come down to his ankles in my memory. It could have been trench coat length, but either way, this was a lot of minks went into this jacket. And what I remember happening, he had a little belt that looped around, and at the end were some balls of mink fur. So he went to the front of the stage and he was showing his mink balls, and he leaned over and told these 2 women in the front row, "Go ahead, squeeze my balls." And they reached up and were squeezing his mink balls. And I found that to be so scandalous when I was 10 or 11. Couldn't wait to get home to tell my brother. I don't remember the music. Apparently he played music. I'm sure he was great. So yeah, that's the first artist I saw had a ticket. I wish I still had the ticket. I have the tickets of most of the shows I've seen, but not the Liberace show. So I'm guessing it was 80 or 81. So let's see, second question. What I listened to most when I was 17. So the month I turned 17, I was in a car accident. I totaled my family's car. They had to piece together my eyebrow. And that was the least traumatic thing that happened to me that year. So I consoled myself by listening to this over and over. And this was not a current album. I was 17 in 1987, and this album came out, I think, in 71. And I just remember listening to a lot of it, and it soothed me. It's a wonderful album. Let's see, the third question, my entry to a genre. So when I was in 8th grade and this album came out, I absolutely loved Leave It. I thought that was such a great song. So I bought 90125, and and then I began to understand that Yes had a lot more albums prior to that. So not knowing where I should start, a friend had an older brother who suggested try classic Yes, and if you like that, then delve further into, the band's discography, which I did wholeheartedly. I would go to Book Nook and buy, I can't remember, they were probably like $2 a pop. And that's how I got most of my collection, was during the 80s, just playing, catch up with stuff in the 70s. So I guess 90125 got me into Yes, which, got me into prog. I really only got into maybe King Crimson and the Moody Blues. The vast majority of my collection would be Yes, but I had never even known of that genre. So so glad Yes came out with that 90125 album, because I'm not sure how they would have gotten on my radar, or they would have gotten on my radar at a much later date if they hadn't released that album. Let's see, question, what album do you play to show off your stereo? So this stumped me for a second, because the room that my stereo is in is my fortress of solitude. So very few people are allowed in here. You are a privileged few. And so I thought, who am I showing my stereo off to? Then it hit me. I blare my music with the windows open, and I am aware that people on the street can hear it. And really, I guess the one I've been blaring a lot of lately is The Strokes. I actually a week ago, last Sunday, had a grueling day at work, came home, put this on the turntable. Wasn't until the next morning I found out it had won a Grammy. So I was playing a Grammy-winning album, not knowing it. So yeah, I like to blare that, and as long as I'm going to blare that, I'll blare some more Strokes. Yeah, so I guess I am showing off my stereo when I play it loudly with the windows open. So let's see, question 5. An album in my collection that was recorded or mixed badly. And I've shown this in another video, but it's the only one that I really think fits this question. It's Dasher's live album from the night, their last night that they were together as a band. And and as far as recorded and mixed horribly, I think it says, and I don't have my glasses, I think it was recorded via field recorder and cell phone. So it does not sound good. And I don't listen to it that often, but that's the stage after the band left the stage. It's just an emotional connection, the fact that this is the only live album I have that I was ever in attendance of. So that's why it's in my collection. I don't play it too often because it really doesn't sound good. And I guess the last question number 6, what upgrade would you do to your system? And I have the same stereo I've had since around 1990, speakers, everything. I guess the first thing I would do is get some new speakers, because as I said, I like to blare my music, and luckily nobody's complained yet. So those were the 6 questions, and this is my entry to the contest. I will see you later. Thank you.